Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you'll love this vibe. And everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This will be past, present, or future. You or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below, and I'll be happy to assist you with doing so. Keep in mind that tarot is a tool, it is not the final rule. So it's a good idea to have an empty cup when you're on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. Okay? Thank you all for your kindness and your support and being a really, really, really great sport. Hope you all are doing wonderful, okay? Feeling lovely and bubbly, honey. Got your snack, got your drink. All right, empty cup. All right, here. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Woo. Someone is awaiting to have a release. This could be something that is keeping you up late at night, or if this isn't your energy, vice versa, put it where it resonates. This could be someone else's energy collective, someone, how they think about you. Someone could be missing you, thinking about you. You could be on someone's mind, on someone's heart, but they could be losing sleep collective, just thinking about you or being concerned about you. Okay. But because I said concerned doesn't mean this is someone who should be concerned. Okay, Spirit is saying to make that clear, but they could be in the Nine of Swords, full of anxiety. This anxiety could be guilt. Okay, this could be guilt. Maybe you're not talking to this person. I picked that up a lot. Maybe there's a lot of people cutting folks off. That's what's going on, collective. But maybe you're not talking to this person. You're not dealing with them. And so this could be causing them to have some kind of anxiety. Some kind of resentment by how they treated you. When it was taking place, they were very confident in their actions, but they could be experiencing some kind of karma where they are overburdened with the repercussions of how they treated you or some kind of experience that you had. Now, this could also be, I'm picking up in a work environment. Maybe you were forced to resign or relocate from a job. And this could be a job that you could have possibly, before you relocated or quit this job, you could have reached out to get some kind of help. You felt like you were being harassed, maybe by another employee or employees. Okay. You could be someone who maybe you go to work, your lunch come up missing, that kind of thing. And I'm hearing something about, I didn't know they still use time cards. People still use time cards. I'm hearing something about a time card, or maybe you were beefing with someone in management or someone who's over the payroll, something about messing with the time card, which affected your money. But the harassment became so serious and so much, you decided to go to another job or relocate to a different location. Okay. So if this isn't pertaining work, this energy here is just simply someone who is receiving their just due, their repercussion of being involved in some kind of mistreatment of you. And for some reason, this person is being overburdened with this 10 of Wands here. This is exhaustion. This is something that just keeps happening. So they could be experiencing like a dismantling or consistency of things shattering around them or in their life collective, and they're trying to figure it out. And what's happening is it's like they're seeing your face, or they're in reflection, and you're coming up. Their experiences and memories of you are coming up while they're experiencing this burden or this stress that is going on in their life personally. This could be with their spouse. Okay. This could be someone who's just having constant upheaval, disagreements with their spouse. Okay. There's no harmony in their home. There's no cohesiveness. There's just, every time they look up, there's something going on, okay, in their personal life. And it's to a point where spirit has them where they are in reflection mode, where they have to reflect on what they have done, where they have to think about it. And that's why memory of you keeps coming up. Now, it's like they're trying to not think about you, but the more they try not to, it's like things are starting to occur for them. Like I said, this could be in their relationship romantically with their spouse. This could be how they communicate, when they go out and about and they're handling their business, things not working out for them in their favor. But this is a repercussion. This is like it's like the table turn. I'm seeing a table on a spinning wheel, collective, and the table actually turning, but it's turning in your favor. And it's time for them to reap what they put you through. Now, this is not because you are doing something wrong. This is just the natural order of law. This is the natural order. Oh, wow. I'm here, Ice Cube. It's the pecking order. Oh, boy. This is the natural order, of law. You've had your fair share of feeling overburdened, being stressed, maybe not being able to sleep, or whatever this was for you. So put it where it resonates. Is different for everyone. And so it's their turn to experience what you experience. Maybe you felt that you were in a situation that you were binded to. You found it tough or difficult where you were blinded, or you could not see yourself coming out of the situation. You could not see yourself stepping between these swords and moving forward. And now it's a new day. It's a new dawn for you and you're feeling good. Okay. You have managed to move forward. You have managed to persevere through whatever this was that this person has done to you, whether this is someone from your job. I picked that up first, collaborating with others. And it caused you to relocate, or maybe you resign, or this could be someone just trying to sabotage your reputation, who you are. This person could have been possibly jealous or envious of you, so much so that they collaborated with others to come up against you. And it could have happened for a long period of time where you endured so much for a long time. And this person grew accustomed to feeling like they would never have their day of reckoning. They would never have, wow, their turn to burn. Okay. I tried not to say it. I tried not to say it, but I had to say it. They grew comfortable in their actions and deeds. And that happens, when a person is accustomed to running amok or getting away with something for a long time, no diddy, they grow comfortable. They really begin to be haughty, like, I'm the toughest. Nobody is going to stop me. I can do what I want, kind of energy. And so they are having their moment, and they're being shown that they're not bigger than the program. They're not exempt from the program, and they need to learn how to respect the program. So they're being shown this, okay? And so you are receiving confirmation, no coincidence, possibly through a reading, possibly through some form of divination. So this is not a coincidence. This is your confirmation. And you have not been sitting, and that is beautiful. What I see, you have not been sitting with a looking glass to wait for them to receive karma. And that's how you've been able to move forward. And you're much better than when they last saw you or were in communication with you. And you should never look with a looking glass. You should stay focused on yourself, because nature will take care of its own. But you are possibly, or could be, seeking some kind of divination work, okay? Whether it's the Ouija board, tarot cards, tea leaves, someone reading smoke, throwing curry shells, whatever it is. You could be receiving confirmation, that this release, this moon energy, represents a release taking place, that there has been a release that is being released onto this person to undergo the treatment and the inconsideration and disrespect and disregard. And they're having me say all those layered words because whoever you are, you went through a lot of ish. So they're having me layer the words, okay? Because I don't talk like that, but I'm distributing the message because that's how it's coming through. They're having me be extremely descriptive. So this was painful for you. This was stressful for you. But now you're feeling lighter. You're, you know, it's like opera music. Birds are singing. The sun is shining in your life. And good for you. Congratulations. But you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot, and you've been strong through it all. And you and your spirit team, you and the divine, is who you work with, is who you collaborated with to go through the healing process of pulling yourself up by the boots, they say. You pulled yourself out the mud, to get back to who you are. And now, you're able, to see your worth and your strength. You know how powerful you are. Okay. This projection, this treatment, this experience that they put you through, it allowed you to become aware of how strong and powerful and resilient you are, collective. What you have endured, many would have not survived. What you have experienced and observed, many would have given up a long time ago. But you've been continuously courageous through it all, especially if this is something where you had to leave your job or go to another location. Like, that's a whole nother, that's heavy. If HR can't handle it, or if you have a union, depends on who you work for or what the laws is, what you and they can't handle the conflict resolution. I mean, dang, that's a lot. And so, the shoe is on the other foot. It ain't no fun when it got the, you see. So they're feeling the raft of it. And even though you're not sitting with a looking glass and you're not wishing them harm, you don't like what occurred, you're aware of it, but you're over it, and you're still going through your healing process. The healing process is continuous. And I say that because when you're going on a healing journey from anything, you begin to learn. And I'm speaking of things that are deeply traumatically impactful to you. You begin to learn the different depths of who you are, what you like, what you don't like, what you're willing to tolerate, where you want to be in the future. And as you pull back the petals of your authenticity, of who you are and your existence, your originality, you begin to reform and tweak and change some things about your existence and how you move about here on planet Earth. So that's what I mean when I say the healing is consistent. It's not I'm over that. Yeah, I'm done with that. Next. It's when you're really doing the work. And it's not that deep. I know I explain it like that, very layered, but when you're doing the work, you're learning about yourself. You're coming to the awakening of who you are. And as you're growing, you're going to tweak and want to change things, how you move, how you interact, and how you feel and how you think about what you see and what you experience. And that's a positive. That's raising the vibration. That's remaining optimistic, learning not to be so negative, surrendering any seeds of doubt that was implanted. That's that kind of energy. But yeah, what they thought, even if this was family and friends, maybe slandering your character, or maybe you went through some hardships and people watched you squander. I'm hearing squander, like somebody like reaching for help and being ignored or laughed at. Maybe you've had family and friends watch you squander, or a childhood friend see you suffer or go through something and no one wanted to help. But now the table has turned. The shoe is on the other foot. Okay. So it looks like you're someone in many people's lives, and also with ex-lovers. You could have been in a relationship with someone who had you in this Ten of Wands, feeling burdened, feeling exhausted, feeling like it's just too much. Like, look, like, this is hot on my back. Oh, and this is not a massage. I got to get rid of this. You could have been in a relationship or a marriage that had you feeling that way as well, And so as you move forward, you will be the one who got away, from that ex-lover, the one who got away, the one who they wish they would have treated right, that old place of employment. There could be people speaking on you in positive. So-and-so sure was funny. So-and-so sure was a good worker. They want to give you your flowers now that you're gone, but when you were present, no one wanted to help with what was wrong. Now, I didn't know that was going to work, but it did. Okay. They didn't want to help when you were there, but they could be speaking highly. You're on these people's minds and hearts, your families, your ex friends, ex co workers, lovers. Yeah. And they are considering and thinking about how they should have been fair with you. They should have given you a fair chance. They should have not treated you as if you were less than, as if you were not worthy of receiving reciprocity or just mutual respect. Okay. Especially if someone was lying, lying on you, spreading rumors. Maybe you had people who envied you. Someone was very jealous of you. You could be very beautiful or handsome, and someone could, maybe they were jealous of you. I'm also picking up someone who likes to dress nice. Every time you show up, you put that on every day, and you look nice, you smell good, and for whatever reason they envied you. Okay. You're that one that pull up in the parking lot with the big rims and the loud music, whatever it is, okay? Whatever it is. But it got to a point that it became out of hand. No one wants to go to, especially if this is a work situation, nobody wants to be making a mignon and worried about a mignon. Nobody wants to be making a mignon and worried about a mignon. And that's probably why you chose to relocate. Like, they ain't gonna stop my money, but I will go somewhere else until I can do better. As you should. So now you're in a position on only, awaiting, your desired manifestations coming to pass. So great things are happening for you, collective. It's been a long time coming, and it's your turn. And so many are in shock because, as I mentioned earlier, when a person has been getting away with harming or mistreating anyone for so long, there are people who are so haughty, they actually feel and think that they will forever, always be at the top, that they will forever and always be able to get away with their dirty deeds or their diabolical activities. And this energy here is people of sort energy, such energy. They were very comfortable seeing you in this energy of newness and healing and abundance. And you could even look different in your appearance. And when people whom you no longer associate with see you, I'm hearing passing by, they may see you and say, wow. They're in shock because they expected you to be down, depleted, duped, dingy. But you're the reciprocal, you're doing well. You don't look like what you have experienced. And you've been through some things. I mean, people collaborating to attack you, family, people at work, friends, dating people who wanted to compete with you. It happens. People even marry folks who want to compete with them. It happens. It happens. Okay. All right, folks don't want to admit to it, but it happens. Okay, your spouse can't cheer you on because they want to what? Compete with you. Your spouse talk about and against everything and all your ideas because what? They want to compete with you. Sometimes your mate does not see you as one. They see you as someone to what? Compete with. It happens. It happens. It doesn't mean you're the bad guy. It doesn't mean they're the bad guy. They're just someone who want to compete. And no, it's not right. But people have issues and unresolved trauma and maternal issues going on, things from their childhood, and they carry it with them. They ignore doing the healing because what's the famous quote? The best way to get over the old one is get under a new one. No, no. That will just combine and multiply the sadness, the pain that you are enduring. Getting under a new one so swiftly will bring you no healing. It will stagnate the process of you clearing out the old. Okay? Yeah. So, yeah, many are shocked. And many of them carried on and moved forward with these negative diabolical deeds because they felt that they would always be in the position to do so. They felt that they were comfortable. They were comfortable, but they're on guard. They're afraid. They want to protect themselves. Some of these people could be paranoid. Like, honestly, they haven't seen you in I don't know how long, but they're unable to sleep. They're paranoid. They don't know why they're paranoid. Things are dismantling. They don't know why. They could be in connections or situations they feel stuck and binded to, you know. Mm-hmm. 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 Meanwhile, you're going through your healing process. You're going within, you're staying balanced and grounded. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're doing the reciprocal, okay? You're not trying to get back at these people. And that's another thing I'm picking up. There's a lot of things you could have done to retaliate, but you didn't. You chose to move forward. And that, my dear, scares them even more. Could you imagine? Come on, collector. Let's talk about it. Could you imagine putting somebody in the Ten of Wands? Come on. Let's talk about it. Putting somebody in this energy here, and you're doing this for a long period of time. I'm talking about for years. And not only you're doing it, they may have problems with their family, but you're doing it too, whether you're their coworker, their friend, whomever. Could you imagine putting somebody in this energy and they're in this energy for so many years and you're cool, life is good for you. And all of a sudden out of nowhere, you're in this energy. Like, surprise! And stuff keep happening repetitively to the point you may feel that the collective is maybe standing over a cauldron, but they're not. This energy is just a repercussion of the natural order of law. This energy that the enemies are experiencing is the repercussion of the natural order of law. What you put out comes back to you. The Karma Cafe is always open. You don't know when you're going to get your serving. And it doesn't mean that it's going to always come back to you. You don't know when or how. It can go to somebody else in your bloodline, in your family, and you don't know when or how. So that's why I inspire confirmation to always be mindful of your words and your thoughts. If you don't resonate with somebody, do not communicate. And just because you don't say it and you just thinking it, that can impact you as well. That can impact you. So be mindful of digging holes for other people because you could possibly fall in it. You are fully aware of those who wanted to betray you, but you chose to move forward. You did not retaliate. And that's why things are prospering for you. That's why you don't look like what you've been through. And you may have seen people, I'm picking up several times, stare at you. Yes, you are a beautiful or handsome person, but they're staring because look how many those are. Look at how many. And there's one pointing outward. They're like, I sent all this energy and they go to collective right there. Still looking good. What the skin popping? What? It's an energy of confusion. It's confusion. They're in conflict and indecision with themselves personally. That's why they are in this Eight of Swords energy. They are confused. These people who projected and participated in this energy towards you, they are confused. They are in conflict with themselves and they are experiencing lots of great loss. Not because of you. It's the repercussion of the natural order of law. There's many of laws. Do your research. So instead of you retaliating, you chose to move forward. You chose to do the healing work, forgive yourself, and forgive them. But forgiving a person does not mean you give them access into your life. I know it can be a hard pill to swallow. Just drink lots of water. To forgive a person does not mean you give them access to your life, and you don't need to communicate with them. You can forgive a person by actually just collaborating with God, with the divine, the inner Christ within, whatever or however you refer to your source. All are welcome on this channel, okay? And wholeheartedly surrender the impact they have put on you. That way, you don't experience stagnation. You're planting seeds that will be fruitful and not fruitless. And that's why you're now in this pleasant, prosperous energy here. You did not retaliate. You chose forgiveness. But forgiving does not mean you start to interact with these people. Does not mean you allow them into your life, your household. You don't have to pull up to their house. You don't have to take no invites. No, you love them from a distance where they are at. And you do not have to entertain their presence. But when you have that program mindset, there are people who are under the impression that they have to be in communication with a person to forgive them. No, you do not. You do not allow interaction or give access because you don't want to send out the signal that you're ready to have another karmic test with someone who has already taken you there. So giving them access is telling source, is telling the universe, wait a minute, I haven't learned my lesson. You know what? They hurt me, but I want them to hurt me again. That's the signal you send out every time you allow a karmic friend, family member, lover, whomever back into your life. Every time you keep showing up to the invites, you open your front door, you answer them text messages. Every time you answering those phone calls, every time you are sending out, you have free will. I'm not done. Oh, yeah, they did this. Maybe they can do it again. And so things will start to dismantle when you refuse to let go the cycle that was closed for you, the cycle that was ended. When you choose to overextend and force yourself to be on a timeline with a karmic whose time has expired with you, then you're caught in the repercussions. You're caught in the karmic that they are receiving. It's like being caught in the crossfire. It's like being caught, yeah, they're telling me to put it up here, in the middle of all this. No sleep, burdened, exhausted, confused, lost, stressed, sad, depressed. You'll get caught in the brunt of their natural order, of their karma and the repercussion. You'll get caught in that. That's how that works. So we have free will, but when you choose to stay in connections and the time has expired, it's like keeping some spoiled meat in the fridge. It's not going to smell right. Or some spoiled milk. It might be stinky and lumpy. It might not smell right or taste right. Or, or look right. And so you block the opportunity of prosperity and happiness. This happens on a regular basis worldwide. People constantly stay in connections that are unhealthy and unfeasible for their well-being. It is impossible to assume, it's not impossible, forgive me, does not make sense nor dollars to assume that everyone that crosses your path is meant to be with you forever. You have free will. You can do whatever you choose. No one can tell you what to do. But every time you stay in that marriage, that relationship, that family ship, that best friend, any connection that is unhealthy and a person is showing you who they are, Maya Angelou, you're choosing not to believe them. They're showing you who they are. You are blocking and creating self-stagnation. You're doing this for yourself. You're impelling this energy on yourself. You're inflicting it. This is the 10 of Pentacles, prosperity, good fortune, fulfillment. Who in a clear mind would deliberately stop and block a 10 of Pentacles? There isn't a relationship that should allow you or inspire you to block this. And there are no excuses. Look, there are single parents raising 9 and 10 kids by themselves and doing a wonderful job. I know a couple of them. Okay, they grocery shop by half of cows per month. I know a couple of them. They have a clean household. There's order in their house. They're very wonderful parents. There are no excuses. If a situation is unhealthy and you're using the children as an excuse, and the children are watching you be sad, depressed, and feeling stuck, even if you say, I don't argue in front of them, energetically, that energy is still felt. Just like if it's a woman has a baby in a womb and she is under stress and pressure during the developing stages. No, I am not a licensed medical care physician, but it can impact that child. It can impact the nervous system of the mother. And the baby is in the womb and developing. So if you're choosing to stay, energetically, there are things that can impact you and your children. And it's not about what you believe in. It's just truth. You have free will once again. But who in a clear mind would stop and self-inflict and block the 10 of Pentacles from entering their life? There isn't enough exciting orgasms, climaxes, fleeting moments, euphorias. Oh, I love them. We've been through so much that should make you stay. Because within this 10 of Pentacles, I'm pretty sure is a new love interest, male or female. It's finances, good health, happiness, peace, contentment, favor, opportunity, peace in your mind, in your heart, and in your spirit. That's all in here. So you can tell yourself whatever you want. There is no reward. You can pump, fake, and pretend and play and tell yourself whatever you want to make you feel like it's okay. Because there's a lot of times, sometimes you have to make a short-term sacrifice for long-term peace, for long-term happiness. You know, if you have to go into a shelter, if you have to maybe live somewhere you don't want to live until you get your money straight, sometimes you have to make them sacrifices so that you can have you a peace of mind. But why sacrifice yourself and block greatness and favor? Things you've been praying for, they're telling me to keep holding it up. You've been hoping for, and the ancestors are saying, it's here, we got you, it's here, it's here, it's here. But who you with can't be a part of it. Yeah, he or she can't be a part of this blessing. This is for you. They're constantly trying to nudge you. You're receiving spiritual nudges. If this message is peeing you off because it hit home, that's a spiritual nudge. That ain't triggering. That's a nudge to something that needs to be addressed. And we're going to get over it in 1, 2, 3. We're going to get over that. Spirit is saying no more excuses for none of us. Period. Anything, relationships, whatever it is you want to do. If you want to make homemade chicken soup, go make it. Anything you want to do. Anything you want to do. Anything. No excuses. So you can tell yourself whatever, oh, I'm staying because of this and that. I'm waiting to this. No. That's you telling yourself that. You're not getting a reward for that. And there's no brownie points coming for that. Yeah, it's just not happening. So that's what's going on with these people. You're doing wonderful. But I said all that rant because there's someone watching or who's going to see this who needs to hear it. Okay? And once again, if you're irritated by something I say, you're not irritated, you're not triggered. That's a spiritual nudge. That something needs to be addressed. Mm-hmm. Because this is a general read, this is not a personal read. And only take what resonates, meaning only take what's for you and leave the rest. So in this reading, we're talking about growth and development, and growth and development is part of a person who can accept constructive criticism wholeheartedly. And this is a reading for someone who is working on progress. And so they're over all of that. There's newness here with the Ten of Pentacles. There's newness here with the Three of Wands. This is awaiting for your ships to come in. The Seven of Pentacles is planting the seeds. Is all the work you have done to apply. A change is going to come, and it always does. God is good. Praise to the Most High. But it's happening. Those who thought they was pooping on you, the tables are turning. That's what this is. That's what this is, you know. And if this was at work, they take me back to the work thing. Somebody had to actually leave. Most likely that job was paying you swell. I don't blame you. I would have went to another location too. You did the right thing. You know, this is, you know, your livelihood. And evidently they was paying you swell. You know, you're like, I ain't going to quit. I'll just go to another location. Okay. But anyone that you reached out to, because I mentioned that earlier, you may have tried to reach out to HR or people to help you and they refuse to help you. Those people are dealing with it too. They're dealing with their fair share. They're having their moment of what you felt like when you were going through. Your family is having their moment of what you felt like when you were having hardships and people were laughing at you, mocking you, getting on the phone, keying and making fun of you. Any relationship that you was in romantically where people weren't fair, you know, and you did not retaliate. They keep saying that you could have done a lot of things, but you did not. And the more you move forward, you're not going to do anything because that's not who you are. You're not cut from that cloth. You're not made like that. And you also understand the law. You understand the law. Very wise. Very wise. Yeah. And so the more you do nothing, they're frazzled and confused. They're in conflict with themselves, waiting for the other shoe to drop. They're looking over their shoulder. They're looking to the left, to the right, waiting for the shoe to drop, thinking something's going to occur or something's going to happen. You know, this could also be, for some of you, there are some people tripping out here that could be losing sleep. It ain't funny, but it's funny. And there's nothing about to happen to them at all. Their karma is to just be paranoid, to spend the rest of their life just paranoid. Or if not the rest of their life, for a long, long period of time, Spirit is saying, thinking something's about to happen and ain't nothing about to pop. Now that's different. That hit different. They think something's about to happen, but ain't nothing about to happen, and they about to go through this for a long time. And some of them, and for the rest of them, some issues real happen. It is happening. It's happening in different places in their life, in their relationships, in their home, at their job, in their finances. Maybe they're not getting along with their children. They could have grown children, adults that they're not getting along with. You know, the harmony has dissipated, unable to have effective communication. because there was a point when you were trying to be assisted, helped, or heard, and you were ignored. You were ignored. Or every time you explained, someone was over talking you or responding to you as if you're talking crazy kind of energy. Or what are you talking about? That didn't happen. What? Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 They now see who holds the true power. They know who is spiritually connected and they know who holds the power. Now, they thought, like I said, for a long time, because you were experiencing some pain and some disruption in your life, these people thought this day would never come. But they now see who holds the power. And once again, you did not retaliate against none of these people, and you could have. And I'm picking up, you still can, but you're not. That ain't who you are. You ain't cut from that cloth. You don't play with them kind of cards. Mm-mm. 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 You're focused on balance and restoration. Balance and restoration. People, situations that will, give you reciprocity and has something in common, like-minded energy. You're not focused on that at all. You have an understanding. You're very spiritually intelligent as well about what happens when people retaliate regarding certain things in certain ways. I'll say it like that. Because you can protect yourself, you can retaliate, but there's law to that also. But you're very spiritually intelligent. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to figure it out. Look at all the bruises and the cuts. But the more they try to project negative energy, sabotage, hope for the worst, even thinking, I'm hearing even thinking about you in a negative manner, these people become affected. Where they once had strength and maybe had power to be strategic, to play checkers, to play checkers and they thought they were playing chess, to play checkers and they thought they were playing chess, they now have a new vision in view of who holds the power. Okay? Beautiful. So do not retaliate. You're in the right energy. You're in the right energy. You know that God's got it. All is in divine order. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Folks are concerned. I did so much to the collective. I wonder, do they know? I wonder, do it. And you're not thinking about nothing they think about, but it's part of their karma to be in this energy of wondering and waiting. This is look, I have never, this is new. Dang. It's nothing coming for some of these people. They're thinking the Ten of Wands is coming for some of them, but their karma is just to be in this paranoia energy. Can't sleep, constantly chatting. I wonder. And the other day, did you see her? I parked my car down the street. I hold on, I don't do nothing. And you're not even thinking in that manner. That's not your energy. That's not who you are. That's not who you are. You're not even going to allow anyone to pull you into that low vibration of retaliating. But they are going to continue to feel like the other shoe is going to drop. And the people they talking to like, what? You're so focused on the collective. Why? You want another shot? You need another drink. Hold on. Oh, gee. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they thought they left you for the end all be all, but you rise. And still I rise to the late great Maya Angelou, and still I rise. You continue to rise above the occasion. You continue to rise. This is shocking on a whole new level. And so here you are, the beautiful sun energy. Resting, rejuvenating, male or female. There's no gender in tarot. Looking good, smelling good, grateful, thankful. Keeping your vibration high, staying away from nonsense and silliness. No matter what they think, they're going to think. They're going to think and assume that you have something to do with what's going on, and you don't. You don't. And every time they have a negative thought regarding you, spirits say every time they have a thought, because people feel that if they don't say something, it's not impactful or nobody heard it. No, 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 no. Oh, it was heard and it can impact you. Even a negative thought, just thinking about you, just having you on their mind, and you just minding your business. You're like, I'm going to get some more flowers. Yeah. So this concludes the read. I trust and hope it assists you for your highest good. Later.